All right, and welcome to Both Mikes.
Hey, it's a show about nothing and everything. He's Mike Sofka.
And he is Mike Taylor. And together, we are Both Mikes.
Both Mikes. How's it going?
Good.
Welcome to show number 38 of Both Mikes, heard everywhere podcasts can be heard. iHeartRadio and live on twitch.tv/bothmikes. Happy Friday, sir.
How are you? Yeah, you're catching us live on Twitch if it's Friday when you're watching this, hopefully. And if not, you're somewhere else. But how are you?
I'm good. Things are good. We got a new look. Look, we got a new look.
A little bit of a new look, yeah. Still trying to work out some of the rough edges here, but, you know, it's evolving.
It's evolving. It's getting better. Whether you like it or not, folks, it's getting better.
The thing with this Surfside.
Uh-oh.
Did you hear about this? About how people have stolen the identities of some of these people?
Well, it is Miami, and Miami's always been known to be the fraud capital of the world. Well, until India got telephones, I guess.
But check it out. I mean, what they're doing is they're watching the news. And when they see the name come across, they know the address of the building. So, I mean, they're halfway home. They just got to do a little bit of a search, look on Facebook, see what their favorite pet was when they were growing up. That's their password or whatever, you know.
State name.
Yeah, first elementary school, you know, all that shit that they put in these surveys on Facebook and stuff. So it's disturbing, though. This is according to Local 10. That must be the local station down there. They're saying that they violated the rights of an individual, but worse than that, a deceased individual and a family that is grieving. I get it. No, that's what the Mayor Charles Burkett said.
Yeah, I think they've come across 98 of the folks that were involved in the bad end of that deal. They knocked down the rest of the building last week. So a lot of insurance claims, because the people that were left in that building, in the undestroyed part of the building, they couldn't go back and get their stuff. It's just SOL.
Well, they're not giving out the exact details of what they have so far. Obviously, it's an open investigation, but they did say that, they're looking in the right direction. They know what kind of person this is. It's just a matter of finally identifying. That's sad. That's really sad.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Well, last couple of shows I waited till halfway between the show to put the brakes on. This week I've decided to just come right out of the box and slam on the brakes.
So we'll go slow, and it's all uphill from here.
Yes, absolutely. And
we'll have cake and cookies later. Make it better.
Well, the roof of another Miami-Dade building has fallen in, and I'm beginning to wonder who the hell was building these buildings back in the day. This is according to NBC News. They're saying that the roof of a Miami-Dade building partially collapses. All apartments are evacuated. This apparently is not far from where that other place was. So maybe there's a problem with the aquifer. Maybe there's... I mean, you can't... Aren't they going to dig a tunnel here and put this big metro thing in a tunnel? They can't even keep the buildings upright. How the hell are they going to do a tunnel?
The water table's like 6 inches below the ground. How can you put anything underground? I don't get it. This is probably just shoddy workmanship. The integrity of the building looks good. It's just the fascia and the soffit there along the roof line. You get shoddy workmanship anywhere you go. It just so happens it happens 3 weeks after a building collapses. So of course you're going to get every story possible. Somebody lost a shingle on a roof. You're going to hear about it in Miami for the next few weeks, months, year. But it's
they did an audit on buildings in the county that are over 5 stories or higher and at or near 40 years old. So they're looking for problems here. I mean, they're looking for stuff. They said it passed a 40-year inspection. I don't know what that means.
Hindsight's 20/20. It's a knee-jerk reaction. You get one Southwest 737 Super 8 Max airplane goes out of control, and all of a sudden they ground all the airplanes because, hey, there's something wrong.
Well, it's the same thing with guns and with, people being fat. You take away all the forks, people won't be fat anymore, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Take away the pencils, and you'll have no more mistakes.
That's right. Just make erasers on both sides.
Yep. Unreal.
So what else is going on with you? Anything?
Not much, man. Let's see. Last week, what did we do last weekend? Oh, St. Augustine had a celebration this past weekend. It was 100th anniversary of the, signing over of Florida from the Spanish to the U.S. Was it 1532 or something? St. Augustine was, established as the first city in the nation, but it was still under Spanish rule. So 200 years ago, this past weekend, it was signed over to the United States, and I guess became a colony, and then eventually a state. But they had in the downtown historic area, they had a simulation, a reenactment of the signing and all that stuff. So the wife wanted to go down because it was a part of history of the new city we live in. And it was actually a good crowd there. I was surprised. It was 11 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. I brought my both Mike stickers and put them everywhere I could.
Nice.
And until I ran out. And we had lunch. If you look on the What's Hot in St. Augustine, What's Hot First Coast Facebook pages, you'll see where we went to lunch. TripAdvisor called this pizza place Pizza Time in the historic district of San Antonio. Nope. And where do I live? St. Augustine. Number 2 pizza place in the country. So I had 2 slices of white pizza, and Xander had a slice of pizza, and Nikki had some garlic knots, and Brenda had a big old Sicilian slice of pizza, a couple soft drinks for $35, and most I spent for pizza in a while. And we had the number 2 pizza in the country. It's actually really good. It was really good.
Now, is this an advertising point to have it written on the window or something? Number 2 pizza in the country?
Yep. It's like a on the windows outside facing, and then you go inside. There's a big old marquee hanging out. Number 2 pizza place in the country.
And where's the number 1 place?
I don't know. I don't think they want to divulge where the number 1 pizza place is.
Next door, right down the street.
At Mike's house. Yeah, that would be funny.
Did you see any gators this weekend?
Any gators? No gators.
Yeah, well, there's a big thing about gators right now in the state of Florida, and one of them is a little advisory. I read this story here, and I want to give a public service announcement. Do not do this. Do not do what we're talking about here. And this is a good story. First of all, it's from thehill.com, but when it starts out, Florida man arrested, the rest of it's really good. You know what I mean? So...
Yeah, I think of Shannon Burke immediately when I think of Florida.
Yeah, Florida man arrested after trying to throw alligator on roof to teach it a lesson. Because that's how you teach alligators a lesson. You throw them on a roof.
Let me make some notes here. All right.
A man from Florida, again, this is according to thehill.com, a man from Florida has been arrested after he told police he wanted to teach an alligator a lesson by beating it and attempted to throw it on a rooftop. William Hodge from Homestead was arrested on Thursday after he stole an alligator from a miniature golf course, beat it, and then tried throwing it on the roof of a beachside cocktail lounge. Daytona Beach Shores police officers caught the 32-year-old when he saw him attempting to throw the alligator on the roof. Now, this guy here who was doing it, again, he says he was teaching it a lesson. The guy's in jail still. He's facing charges of possession and injury of an alligator, unarmed burglary of an occupied dwelling, theft, and criminal mischief.
Interesting.
32-year-old dude from Daytona.
Well, you mentioned Homestead earlier. So Homestead is down by Miami.
Right.
Maybe he's from Homestead and the incident happened in Daytona?
Yes.
At one of those,
yes,
those
that's exactly
communities?
what happened. Yes, that's what happened.
Like one of those cool, out of control mini golf courses that has like a crashed airplane in a volcano. And
what's that old thing? Go to vacation, end up on probation?
Yes, that's Daytona's tagline.
There you go.
Yeah. God.
You know, if anybody from Daytona or the Bikefest is Bike Week, if any of them is listening, there's somebody I know owns the rights to a couple websites you may be interested in to promote your product. I'm in negotiation with another company right now, with another event company. The websites are Florida Bikefest and Bikefest Florida, both.com. So if you have a bike event or know somebody that's running one of those bike events, the other people I'm working with, taking them about a month longer than I want them to, so I'm not afraid to pull the plug on somebody else if somebody else comes along. So, I mean, I got this is a perishable product on the shelf here, you know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
I need to make some money on it. You ever do that? You ever speculate on a domain or?
Actually, I have. Flippin' SA.
Nice.
As in, like, house flipping SA as in San Antonio.
Oh, I thought it was like, hey, SA! And you're flipping that guy. Hey, SA!
Safari Guide Assistant.
Yes.
Yeah, same thing. Flippin' SA, and Stratos Jump, I think, or something like that. Something along the lines of what happened with my cousin back in '66. Doing the free fall skydive from the stratosphere, and I was trying to think of an angle with that. Not that I was gonna jump from outer space or anything like that, but I don't know, I just had some wheels going in there. So, but yeah, any time you can make a buck.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? I'm looking at my notes here, and we're getting ready to talk about these guys, so we might as well go ahead and pull this up, the alien update.
Bug-looking alien! Where?
Warning! Alien approaching! Warning! Biophysical experiments extremely dangerous to Earth people!
It's a pretty good robot. He's a little bit of an alien, too, but I think he's an alien. You could be an alien robot, right? Like, not all robots are domestic.
I computed the aliens. They are capable of sinister and dangerous acts.
You weird alien man!
Alright, now I'm gonna adjust the alien update, I promise you. I'm gonna fix it so that the right names are on there. But when we're talking about the alien update, we're talking about Musk, we're talking about Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Branson, what's his name? Richard Branson, Bill Gates.
Yeah, Bill Gates.
These guys are just way too smart and have too much money. They figured it out. They're obviously from another planet. Here's the deal. There's somebody that bought a $28 million ticket for Jeff Bezos' flight. You know, the flight to space?
Yeah.
He auctioned those off, and it went the mystery bidder who won a seat on the maiden crew flight of the New Shepard rocket now has scheduling conflicts, and he's not going to be able to go.
Oh, scheduling conflicts. Did his mommy say he couldn't go?
Yeah, what is that short for, scheduling conflicts? Because I can't remember. Like you said, did mommy say you couldn't go? You know, if somebody was trying to introduce you to their friend on a blind date, if they said she had a pretty face, that meant she was fat. If she, whatever, there was code,
Well, yeah, she has a good personality. I think
yes,
is what
she's ugly as shit then, right? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah. Well, sometimes those type of women try harder.
Stop those people. Jesus. That's
What?
Mike_Taylor at bothmikes.com. Jeez.
What?
I like how I immediately run the show into the rails, and then here you go, and you come right out and friggin' pick it right back up. That's why I have you. That's why I like you, Mike. Picked it right back up.
Usually, yeah, it's like a pylon, It's king of the mountain. Who can get to the top of the mountain first with the most insults And, we just overtake each other and build on it from there. And then we're both embarrassed and get all kinds of strange emails.
So on July 20th, Bezos, Jeff Bezos' brother Mark Bezos, and the legendary aviator Wally Funk are all scheduled to go on the first crewed flight of Blue Origin's New Shepard suborbital rocket when they fly approximately 62 miles above the Earth's surface, reaching the Kármán line, the boundary between Fédération Aéronautique International's recognized as the start of space. For roughly 3 minutes, they will experience weightlessness, after which the crew capsule will plummet back to Earth and show its descent with massive parachutes. While the rocket can hold up to 6 passengers, it will fly autonomously, eliminating the need for Blue Origin to have other personnel physically piloting the craft. A 4th seat was supposed to go to a mystery bidder who bid $28 million at a charity auction in June. Unfortunately, the anonymous capitalist or inheritance recipient will now be backing out of the inaugural flight due to scheduling conflicts. In that person's stead, the fourth passenger will now be, drum roll, this 18-year-old kid. 18-year-old Oliver Damon, a recent high school graduate. Damon, a physics student on a gap year before college, who also holds a private pilot license, is the son of Somerset Capital Partners CEO Jose Damon, who paid an undisclosed sum to get a seat on the second crewed flight. They moved him up when his seat for the first flight became unavailable, Blue Origin told CNBC and Gizmodo, so it must be true.
All right, Oliver, yeah. Who names their kid Oliver, first of all? And, he had nothing to do this summer, so he's going to fly to space.
Well, who takes a gap year? You usually don't take a year off, especially in a brainiac type situation like physics. You don't take a year off, man. You don't go, I'm going to take the year off and backpack across Europe during COVID. You could sit at home and take virtual classes. Shit.
Right. Yeah.
So there's something fishy there.
He has a private pilot's license, so that might come in handy. If when this thing falls to the ground in a controlled crash, he might need to use his pilot's license, possibly.
What's he gonna do? Stick his arms out the window and start flapping?
Yeah, that's about what it is. Now, knowing what I know from my cousin's doings back in 1966 with the stratosphere jump that he tried to do, is his second attempt, he was able to get to 21.21 miles up in the air by being held up by a weather balloon in this little makeshift gondola, which is on display at the Smithsonian Institute at Dulles Airport in Virginia. He got to that point, 21 miles up in the air, and he had to disconnect his oxygen from the oxygen tank in the gondola to his self-contained unit, which was on him that he was going to jump with. And he couldn't disconnect it. It was frozen because of the hours it took to get to that height. He couldn't disconnect it, and a $1.50 wrench is all he needed to disconnect it. So he couldn't disconnect it, and he was in this pressure suit. He had already taken off his seatbelt and was getting ready to go. He couldn't put his seatbelt back on. So basically he had to jam his foot in the corner, jam his arm in the other corner, and ride this gondola all the way down.
Wow.
Now, when there's no atmosphere and you have a parachute, there's no air in the parachute. So this thing came down until about 53,000 feet with no air in the parachute. The parachute just flapping in the wind.
And you're looking at this thing going, what the hell?
Yeah, you're looking up, and that's all you see is this thing flapping in the wind, or what wind there is, and hoping for the best. And sure enough, it did open, and it opened properly, and he was able to land, and he landed in a I don't know. The second time, I think he landed in a junkyard. One of the times he came back down, he landed in a junkyard. Third time, he didn't land very well at all. But yeah, so this thing is going to come from 26 miles up in the air, and it's going to flap like a mother flipper with these people in it. And of course, it's all self-contained, and they're going to land by parachute Couldn't they do something cool like Benson Bezos? Not Benson. What's his name? Branson. And like have it so that it comes down and flies like a glider, and they can land at the airport. You can't do that.
I don't know. I don't know.
$28 million in a controlled crash to Earth. I don't know. I think I would see if there was a coupon or a Groupon or Living Social deal on $28 million. Sorry,
a Groupon on a space flight. You know,
the Bezos Groupon.
If you're watching this in 10 years from 2021, like 2031, and you're like, "Huh, that's." Remember that they had to pay $28 million to get on the thing. Now you just get the bus pass or whatever.
Right? You know. Yeah, the fast pass.
Jesus.
I got my ticket on Eventbrite, and I'm heading to space.
You drove. You drive a Ford, right?
I certainly do. Well, once every 6 months or so, because it's in the garage.
Nice.
I have a 2013 Ford Mustang California Special GT convertible, black on black.
Well, good. You're not among the 775,000 Fords that are getting recalled. Wow. Ford SUVs worldwide are being recalled for a steering issue linked to reports of 6 injuries in North America. The recall covers 2013 through 2017 model year vehicles that it may experience a seized cross-axis ball joint that could cause a fractured rear suspension toe link, which could significantly diminish steering control, increasing the risk of death.
I hate when that happens. I hate when my control knob breaks off and I go careening into a barrier in the middle of the highway at 75 miles an hour.
Ford also issued 2 other smaller recalls. One for the F350 with a 6.7 liter engine. That thing will pull down a house, I bet.
Yeah, it's a $73,000 truck.
And they're also recalling Lincoln Aviator vehicles equipped with the 3.0 liter gas engine because the battery cable wire harness may not be properly secured. Those are simple things. That's easy. Yeah. But the steering thing.
The Lincoln Aviator is the same as a Ford Explorer. So they're recalling one and not the other? That's odd.
Maybe they just haven't gotten caught yet on the one with the Ford badge on it.
Yeah, or maybe it's one of those hoity-toity options that the Lincoln has that the Ford doesn't have. All speculation, of course.
Well, you know, I did just get a text. Our buddy, his limo should be pulling up here any minute, so I'm going to run...
He shows up in a limo and he leaves on a flying carpet. What a guy.
Yes, exactly. So hang on a second. Let me see if I could find this cat here. Hang on.
Alright.
We're having... There we go. There's his picture. You're going to see him. If you're looking at the video, there's his picture. And yep, he's at the door. I'm going to go grab the door. I'll be right back. Got his music playing. How are you, young Michael?
Excellent, MikeStrodamus. Welcome. Welcome, and ladies and gentlemen, this is a very exciting night. We have a very special guest with us this evening. We have a guest from the East, a famous safari guide, the all-knowing, all-seeing, omniscient, and former electronics salesman from the Crazy Eddie at the corner of 4th and Lexington. I give you MikeStrodamus.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael. How are you?
Welcome, MikeStrodamus. Welcome. We have been waiting to hear your infinite wisdom. I have your envelopes right here. They have been hermetically sealed and stored in a mayonnaise jar at Fun Spot on iDrive since noon today. No one knows the contents of these envelopes, but you, in your infinite wisdom, without ever seeing the contents, you alone know the answers to these questions in the envelope. I present to you your first envelope.
Ah, thank you. There we go, there we go. So I'm going to read the answer to the question, then I'm going to open the envelope and reveal the question. Just to be clear here for
Correct.
our friends over the podcast airways here. The answer to this question is
The interwebs.
Shart Week. Shart with a T. Shart Week.
Shart Week.
What do you call the week after going on a cruise with both Mikes? Nice, I like it. I like it. That's a good one there. That's a good one. I like that one there. And nice. You know, may your toilet be filled with glorious surf and turf. That's a good one there. Yeah. Yeah, do you need to get up and go to the bathroom or wipe or anything?
I'm good.
Okay.
Carry on, sir.
I'm waiting for envelope number 2, and I miss you repeating these things. I like hearing you.
I have envelope number 2.
Envelope number 2. Aha. Thank you. The answer to envelope number 2. Britney Spears.
Britney Spears.
Britney Spears. Open up the envelope. Name someone that hasn't balanced the checkbook in 2 decades.
Yeah, she's hasn't balanced the checkbook in quite a while.
May you have a meltdown and shave your head.
Again.
Are we ready with the final envelope?
Sir, I have your final envelope right here.
Thank you. Okay. The final envelope. Things your wife says. Things your wife says.
Your wife says.
Yes.
Things your wife says.
Why are you not reading my mind when I wasn't speaking to you because I was mad at you for not knowing what I was mad at you about?
3 years ago. Yes, I understand.
Yes. Yes. And may your next wife record all your conversations for quality assurance.
Folks, MikeStrodamus.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to jump on this carpet and get out of here. Well, tell him to stop grabbing your ass. I can't help he grabs your ass. What do you want me to do? Stand there and block your... Oh, sorry. Is this thing on?
Hello? You there?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Sorry. At the normal grabbing the intern's ass on the way out the door to the magic carpet. It takes a limo here. It takes a carpet when he leaves. Guy's incredible. MikeStrodamus. All right. Let me get us back on track here.
Yeah, now that he's gone.
Did you hear about this lady that pulled a bunch of teeth and they arrested her? She pulled 13 teeth.
I heard something about it, but no details. Like, what she broke into a dentist's office?
Well, first of all, let me show you her picture. And if you're just listening to the podcast and you owe it to yourself to check out the video, to check out her picture, because she does look like a dentist, no?
Twitch.tv/both mics. Yeah, no, it looks like the girl that works at the Kangaroo gas station down the street.
Exactly. She looks like the one that's at 2 o'clock in that shady bar. Well, honey, it's not going to get any better than this.
Wow. And she put her hair up, though. That was nice of her.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, let me get into this story here. This is Nevada woman. This is according to sfgate.com. Nevada woman accused of pulling 13 teeth on one patient without a license.
Oh, I thought she did it on herself.
No. A Nevada woman has been arrested on multiple felony charges for breaking into a dentist office and on a previous occasion extracting 13 teeth from a patient without a license. Washoe County Sheriff's Department detectives arrested Laura Etch, 42, for allegedly stealing more than $22,000 in cash and checks from a dental office in Sun Valley, Reno on May 3rd. During the investigation, officers also learned that she had allegedly performed 13 tooth extractions on one person without a dentist license. Etch admitted to multiple people that she had performed the procedure and used anesthetic and has been tossed by the dental office.
Do they need security at the dentist office? How do you let's walk willy-nilly through a dentist office, put somebody under? You know, kudos for her for being able to put somebody under, I guess.
Well, that's almost like the thing I wanted to do when I was young. Like, I wanted to work, I wanted to get a job, I wanted to get hired on at McDonald's, but only work there for like an hour. And I didn't want to invest too much time. So I showed up at the interview, I filled out my application with a crayon, and I showed up at the interview in flip-flops and shorts and a tank top, and I had a beer in my hand, and I handed him the application, the manager, and I kicked my feet up, my bare, dirty feet out of my flip-flops on his desk, and he told me to get the hell out. So I showed up the next day for work anyway. And the other manager was there, and I just said, no, this is all bullshit. I don't know. I got nothing here. Sorry. Found out.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of questions.
Yeah.
How do you walk through a dentist's office freely and get into a situation where you can do this? Was there shenanigans going on with the dentist and the hygienist? Where are these people?
How did she have time to pull 13 teeth? That's got to take some time for a patient to be in the dentist office and nobody be checking on this patient. And this woman's out here taking 13 teeth out of her head.
Even if it took a minute, a tooth, it's still like 15 minutes to find the damn tools alone. And to put someone under, or was she under already and she just kind of...
No, she said she put somebody under. Oh, yeah. This is actually a surgery. She's been arrested on multiple felony counts, including performing surgery on another without a license, burglary of a business, 1 grand larceny greater than $5,000, and violation of probation or condition of a suspended sentence. She was also charged with 1 gross misdemeanor count of conspiracy to commit burglary.
Because she planned on doing it. That's the only thing. God. What was I going to say? Oh, man. My mind is freaking... I'm losing.
But let me ask you a question. If you're the patient and that walked into the room and said, hey, I'm here to pull 13 teeth, I would be like, no, time out, stop. And then she puts the mask on you and that's it, you're out, or what?
Apparently. And isn't there usually an assistant? I
would think so, especially when you're pulling 13 teeth.
Yeah, did she come in with a white coat and just play the part real well? And imagine, like... You woke up to her. You're out cold to get a procedure done, and you wake up and she's looking at you.
No, I'm good.
She's like, "Can I get $5 on pump 3?"
She looks like she's at Ron's pub, 2 o'clock in the morning on a Friday night, talking about how hot she was when she was younger and how her and her daughter get confused for twins all the time.
Yeah, and she moonlights at the landing strip in West Palm Beach. Not that I would know.
I think I'm going to run out of topics before time, but we'll be all right. We'll figure something out here.
Dude,
I do have Mike-isms to get to.
Professionals. We could just freaking riff and BS all night long. We could do a
correct.
4-hour show.
That's correct. We can get into Mike-isms. Let's do that. Let me get this ugly mug off the screen here. And
So
let me pull up the Mike-isms. And Mike-isms are basically the rules. These are basically the rules of life. These are basically
To
things
live your life on.
Yes.
You know, if you're ever just wondering and sad about things, and you're wondering where your life is going, and you need help somehow, and you're depressed, just pull out the Mike-isms. This is a guide to give you bullshit. I don't know.
All right. So Mike-ism number 1.
Everything is fake.
That is correct. Everything is fake. Everything is a myth. It's a computer simulation. We are not really here, but a representation of us is here. That if you go to Fort Knox and ask to see all the gold in Fort Knox, they're going to throw you out. They're going to tell you you're crazy. Maybe that's because it's not there. Maybe the money's all fake. We're off the gold standard already, so maybe everything's fake. Maybe, when I go to when I go to buy something, I use a credit card, not real money, right? And then what happens? I pay with another credit card or from my bank account the bill online. I never really even see the money anymore. You can tap and go stuff on your phone. Everything's fake, man. It's all an illusion.
Smoke and mirrors.
Number 2.
People are stupid.
People are stupid. That's correct. People are stupid. Never underestimate. Yes.
It's always them.
Never. Yeah. Now it's not you. If you're listening to this, we're not talking about you. We're talking about all those other people who aren't listening. People are stupid.
Right, like George Carlin always says, they got you by the balls.
That's right.
And he's always talking. He's always talking about the people. Well, the people that he's talking to in the audience are the people too. So, I guess who's he talking about? He's not talking about the people in front of him. He's talking about those other people. Yeah.
Rule number 3 kind of stems off from rule number 2. Rule number 3, what is it?
Yeah, don't trust anyone.
Don't trust anyone. A lot of people are too trusting. This isn't the 50s. This isn't Leave It to Beaver. You're not leaving your doors open and going out skipping through the neighborhood singing, Kumbaya with the neighbors down the street around a campfire.
You ever date someone and you're like, this is fantastic. This is the best thing ever. I could never dislike this person. Never. She's awesome. And then that line of love, hate, and next thing you know, she's the worst person in the world. She's possessed by Satan. Don't trust anyone.
What's rule number 4, or Mike-ism number 4, I should say?
Mike-ism number 4, don't tell anything they don't need to know. One more time. Don't tell anyone anything they don't need to know.
Yes. When the officer pulls you over, don't say, I only had 2 beers.
I only had 1 beer. No, you had none.
Yes.
If OJ taught us anything, deny, deny, deny.
So don't go giving people stuff you don't want them to have or they don't need. Mind your business. Keep your business to yourself. Let them keep their business to themselves. And don't start volunteering any information. What are you going to do? Go on Facebook and start telling me about your first elementary school and your favorite pet and your mother's maiden name?
First car I drove?
Yeah.
I've fallen for all of them.
And Mike-ism number 5.
Measure twice, cut once. Make sure you got your shit together.
I like that one because, check your shit. Make sure your shit is right. Make sure before you go talking about somebody else's shit that your shit is right. Yep. Do it twice, cut once. I wish I did that more often. I'll tell you, I have trouble with that one. I need to do something better with that one. Number 6. What's Mike-ism number 6?
Guilty by association.
If you're in the car, the officer pulls the car over, and he comes up and goes, this car smells like weed. Everybody get out. Guess what? Unless the driver cops to it, everybody's going downtown.
Guilty as charged. It actually is exactly what happened. I had a friend who was in the driver's seat, rolling a left-handed cigarette, and I was in the back seat. And everybody got a ride downtown. So.
And were your parents very disappointed in you when they picked you up?
No, it didn't go that far. Oh. But you know what? I went downtown to the police department, and my name was written down on a little piece of paper with a bunch of other names that were people in the car. And guess what? Next time, if I ever had an incident in that town, they'd be like, hey, he was with that pot smoking guy.
So did this go on your permanent record?
No, I was actually very lucky. In the few towns around where I lived in New Jersey, my dad was what's called they used to call a rent-a-cop, or the auxiliary policeman. He basically directed traffic. He was a crossing guard and stuff like that when they needed him for like church and whatnot, activities downtown. And everybody knew my dad. Everybody knew me because of my dad. So I got away with a lot. I got away with a lot of stuff. Way too much to admit, but I got away with a lot of stuff as a young child. But yeah, getting back, if anything ever happened and I was detained by the police, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, he was with that guy, guilty by association." Even though I did nothing wrong, I was just sitting in the back seat minding my own business. If you hang around people that are guilty, you're guilty too, just because you hang out with them, and you must be just like them. So, number 6, guilty by association.
So, number 7, Mike-ism number 7.
Newest one, our newest addition to the Mike-ism family, never go against the family.
Let me tell you something, never go against the family.
Ride or die.
You'll wind up with a horse head in your bed. Or worse yet, wake up dead.
Right? Like you got right? Like you have a large family.
Yes.
Now, there's one particular brother that I know one of your brothers better than the other one.
Right.
And you bust his balls all the time. It is just a thing that you guys do. You guys just bust on each other. Now, if I was to come along and bust on him, I couldn't do it because I'm not part of the family.
Well, you could, but I mean, other but you'd have a short leash, you know what I mean? But somebody outside, and there's a true story that involves that. There was a situation where somebody stepped on my brother, and my brother had drank quite a bit, and I knew that wouldn't end well, so I had to get involved. And next thing you know, we both got escorted out of the place. So I don't know, stuff happens. He might be, not with your particular situation, but if there's someone in the group who's a little slower, and you make fun of him in every group, and he gets kind of the short end of the stick and usually the brunt of a lot of jokes in your group. But, he might be a spaz, but he's your spaz. That's right. It doesn't mean you can make fun of him. Only I can do that.
Only we exactly.
Only we can pick on him. You pick on him, we're going to kick your ass.
Right, yeah.
All right,
we call him every name in the book, but hey.
So you ready for the new Mike-ism for tonight?
Uh-oh.
We have a new Mike-ism here.
I'm running out of room here. I got my.
So
my
this would be number 7, or
this would be number 8.
Number 8. Be aware of your surroundings. When you go somewhere, when you walk in the door at the retail establishment, where's the back door? Where's the bathroom? Where's the person with the register? Are there 4 people working here or 2? How many customers are here? Or, all these little things, when you go into a restaurant, do you sit with your back to the door, or do you sit with your back to the wall in the corner where nobody could possibly ever be behind you and sneak up on you?
Yeah. I'm good at this at some points, but I'm also kind of, I don't want to live my life in a paranoid state where I have to check everything. I do have a good, lack of a better word, spidey sense. You kind of know.
You know something's off.
Yeah, when something's off, I'm good at that. But checking off all those little boxes that you just mentioned, it doesn't matter.
Well, it's like driving now. When you're driving, you're checking your mirror, you're checking your side mirror, you're checking around you, you're looking in your blind spot. These are things that you just naturally do, and if you start naturally doing them, you're going to be a lot safer. There's crazy people out there doing crazy things right now. Remember, number 2, people are stupid, so you got to be aware of your surroundings.
Even now, like with all the damn videos you see on YouTube and Facebook of car crashes and whatnot with webcams, dashboard cams. Even when I approach a damn intersection now and I clearly have the green light, I'm looking both ways. Yeah. And I've never done that before. When I was in high school, my theory to my best friend was you go between the yellow line and the white line. If anything gets in between there, it's not supposed to be there. Hit it. That was my process back in the 80s, my thought process. Now, not so much. But, sitting with my back to the door. My wife has whatever. She has issues with that, so she likes to. I let her sit where she wants to sit, and I'll sit anywhere else. But as far as unscrupulous people around, I'll notice that, and I will, have my guard up for things like that. People approaching from behind, people walking in weird spots, and strange people. I'm always aware of that. So
you won't be the one getting 13 teeth pulled by a trailer park woman?
No. Hopefully not. At the Kangaroo gas station.
All right. Nothing wrong with trailer parks, by the way. It's Mike_Sofka at bothmikes.com. Do you use sunscreen?
Tampons.
Do you use sunblock, all that stuff? Yes?
Yes.
You have to, right?
I hate it. I don't like getting anything on my hands.
Right.
So, like, the advent of this spray stuff,
yeah.
I don't like having sunscreen on my hands.
Well, that's what I'm talking about here. Neutrogena products by Johnson & Johnson. Some of them are the spray products as well. This is according to CBSNews.com, so it must be true. Johnson & Johnson said Wednesday that it's recalling 5 of its sunscreen products after some samples were found to contain low levels of benzene, a chemical that can cause cancer with repeated exposure. The affected products packaged in aerosol cans are Aveeno Protect, Refresh Aerosol Sunscreen, and 4 Neutrogena sunscreen versions, Beach Defense Aerosol Sunscreen, Cool Dry Sport Aerosol, Indivisible Daily Defense Aerosol Sunscreen, and I'm getting the pop-up blocking the last one here. Hang on there. Ultra Sheer Aerosol Sunscreen. So the recall includes all can sizes and all levels of sun protection factor or SPF. The products were distributed nationwide through retailers. Benzene, a known carcinogen, was found in 78 of nearly 300 sprays and lotions tested, or about 27%. It also include products sold by Banana Boat and CVS. So there's a big deal. Now, benzene, this isn't a chemical that they add to this product, but somehow these products are all testing positive for it. Crazy, huh?
That is bizarre. It could easily be a tampering thing. But if you're looking at the Twitch.tv live feed, that middle one there we had a couple years ago. And I told Brent, why are you buying Neutrogena freaking sunscreen? I go, just get something. It's twice the price of a regular sunscreen. I go, we don't need that. Just get the cheap stuff. So I got the 2-for-1 Target. You buy one get one Target.
Yeah.
Extra free 30%. And that's what I use. I use the spray. I spray my face. In my eyes, in my ears. Doesn't matter. And yeah. I usually wear a hat now, because with this beauty up here, look at that, huh? You see your freaking face in there, can't you?
Nice.
Yeah, it sucks. Believe me.
Well,
I have to use it. I hate using it, but I do, just because I hate the torture of freaking sunburn.
Well, the chemicals affect the benzene. By the way, benzene is highly flammable, widely used chemical that's present throughout the environment. It can cause cancer with repeated exposure at high enough levels. It can also damage the immune system and prevent cells from functioning properly. The chemical's effects vary by whether a person accidentally inhaled or ingests it or gets it on the skin and clothing. Symptoms range from dizziness and irregular heartbeat to convulsions, and at very high levels, death. Johnson & Johnson, which is based in New Brunswick, New Jersey, said it has notified the Food and Drug Administration of the recall.
Wow. Well, I think they might have heard about it on the news this past week.
I think they're going to hear about it on both mics this week. Take
both
action.
Mics, yeah. I was just going to say that. Yeah. Johnson & Johnson, they're first it's talcum powder, now it's this. What's next?
What are you going to do? Tell us cigarettes are bad for you next?
Yeah.
So, have you been a proponent of the Universal Halloween Horror Nights? Have you gone?
God, what was last time?
Well, they didn't have it last year, obviously, with the COVID. They're ramping up to do it this year.
2003 was the last time I went to Halloween Horror Nights. Because after I left the RFC, I went to the HCR. Or the HRC. So, yeah, I went then.
Universal Orlando will be celebrating its 30th Halloween Horror Nights this year, so you can expect things to get scary. I can remember going to this stuff in high school or right out of high school. I mean, not right out of high school. Wait a second. That can't be true.
89.
Yeah. Shortly after high school, yeah. No, you're right, 89. Wow, time flies.
Yeah, you old fart.
They're going to have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre experience there.
They had 2 years to plan it, so it better be good.
What else are they going to have? They're going to have The Bride of Frankenstein Lives.
Yeah, she works at the Kangaroo gas station.
Oh!
Apparently, and pulls teeth for a living.
Nice. They're also going to have a haunting of Hill House Maze. Let's see.
Haunting of Hill House?
Beetlejuice Haunted House, as well as 6 more houses that have not yet been announced.
Wow.
You know, they always do something with clowns, too.
Actually, no, wait. I've been to Halloween Horror Nights. Maybe it was, I guess it was 2003. I'm trying to think of, we went with other people another time. Yeah, that was the same time. Okay, I've been once, 2003. And they actually had it in both parks that year. It was actually kind of cool. And there was a section in between the parks where they had, like, it was weird. It was like a grassy area, and they had, like, a lot of fire going on.
The grassy knoll, they had the JFK thing there?
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, right by the library. And
they could have the Men in Black shoot them, just like the CIA did.
And they had guys with chainsaws and stuff. And it's a cool section. I don't remember anything else about any of the haunted houses or anything, but I remember this outdoor area that they had in between the parks that was pretty cool.
Now,
So,
you go on a lot of cruises, right?
28 so far. I got one coming up in October.
This cruise ship that I'm showing you here, the Seven Seas Marine, this is a boat that is going to be going around the world. $73,499 per guest. This world cruise sells out in less than 3 hours. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, it's rather disgusting, the price, but
well, you can go up. I mean, you can get a more expensive room. Like you can get $1 under $200,000 or $199,999. That's for the that's per person. That's for the master suite.
right.
So you're going to pay $400,000 to step on this boat for 3 months and be with the same schlubs.
My only fear would be that's a smaller boat. That boat looks like it's under 100,000 tons, and I guess it has to be to get into some of the areas along in Europe and in Canada and whatnot. It has to get into some of these rivers. But for 3 months, if it did the whole world, I guess. And the thing is, you pay $73,000 or $199,000. That does not include when you stop and you want to take a helicopter ride, to see the glaciers in Alaska. That's more money you got to drop. Does it include drinks? I don't know. A lot of times these cruises don't include beverages, so you're stuck with water and tea.
Well, the trip I'm talking about, the voyage, which will span 34,500 nautical miles, includes 66 ports of call, as the Seven Seas Mariner will visit 31 countries and 4 continents. Passengers will also see 61 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, whatever that means. The epic round-trip cruise will depart from Miami in January 2024. The company has also round-the-world cruises slated for 2022 and 2023, but it says the tickets for the 2024 trip sold out faster than any other year. I guess people are thinking that the COVID stuff's going to die down and everything enough that they'll feel more comfortable in a couple of years. But am I going to drop like anywhere from 75,000 to 200,000 per person and let them hold my money for 3 years before I even go on a cruise?
Right. Or you put the deposit down, and then you have to pay it off in a certain amount of time. Usually it's 90 days before the cruise.
Oh, they don't give you 30 years? It's like a damn mortgage.
Yeah, practically. But, yeah, I have a cruise coming in October, and I literally just paid it off. Not knowing 100% that it's actually going to happen. But we'll see.
Scary stuff, man. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at the accommodations here, and this was according to NPR.org, and I mean, stuff looks nice. 200 grand nice per person, 400 grand. I don't know. I guess I wouldn't know. I've never seen a place like that. I don't know.
What's the sales tax on something like that?
Oh, Jesus. And then there's, don't you have the port tax or whatever and all that too? You got to pay.
Yeah. Well, port fees are usually like $40. So, that's no big deal. But, yeah, it's amazing that people have disposable income of that amount. It's disgusting.
We were over in the Sarasota area this past week here, and
cool.
We're in that area, and we're driving around, and we're looking at some of these houses in this one area, and they were obviously, we couldn't get to where the houses were, but you start asking yourself that question: what do these people do? What did they do? Is this inherited wealth? Was this house handed to them? Or did they hit the lottery? Did they invent the sticky notes? I mean, what happened here? Tell me how you got here.
Yeah, it's very bizarre when you're in the mortgage business and you see people and their income. A pilot that makes 25 grand a month. It's insane. Like a private pilot, not a commercial pilot. And a radiologist makes 19 grand a month. Mm-hmm. Wow, kidding me? And it's like a W-2 position. They're not even self-employed. They're just a radiologist, and they make 19 grand.
Well, I must confess that there was a time where I was making money close to that. I'm just going to leave it at that. And I know people who are making more in that same business than what you're talking about right now, 30, 40 grand a month. And it's almost like disgusting. It's almost like you almost want to take a bath when you get home to get it all off you. It's almost like it's a mafia type thing. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we got about less than 2 minutes to go. Do you have any shout-outs for us today, Mike?
2 minutes. Here's to both Mikes. If you guys want a sticker,
yes.
Give us a shout-out. Hit us up on Facebook. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, all the typical social media platforms. YouTube, all our stuff is on there. We'll send you a couple, and just put them where things stick.
Make sure you check out my friend Gino Losi. If you want to go fishing, you're in Florida, you're going to be in Florida, check out GinoLosi.com. Check him out on YouTube. This guy throws the line in the water and pulls out a fish. He takes that fish off the line, throws out the line, pulls in another fish. It's like watching one of those fishing shows on steroids. Also, check out my friends at the Melon Patch Theater in Leesburg. Dustin Levine does a great job there. Check them out. Donate some money. See a play. The community theater does a wonderful job there, so make sure you check those guys out. So I guess until next time, which if you're on twitch.tv/bothmikes, stick around. That'll be coming up shortly here, live.
Yep, cool.
All right, we'll see you next time.
All right, folks. Have a great day.